G'day and welcome back. I'm Joel Slate-Cairns and you're listening to the 3CIR podcast, where we turn hard-earned experience into real-world qualifications and real career momentum.
And I'm Ryan Jury Delaney. If you've ever wondered how the stuff you did in uniform stacks up outside the wire, you're in the right place. We're here to make that bridge clear, simple, and, dare I say, actually kind of fun, right?
Exactly. Quick reset on who we are. 3CIR was built by ADF Army vets, and we're guided by 5 things we carried from service and into everything we do: courage, commitment, camaraderie, integrity, and respect. Those aren't just on the wall, they're how we operate, how we teach, and how we look after our people.
Yeah, this whole show exists because we've lived that transition ourselves. The unknowns, the what now after discharge, the weird feeling of being overqualified and under-credentialed at the same time. Our mission's simple: help veterans, emergency services, and anyone with serious on-the-job learning convert it into nationally recognised quals, sharpen skills online, and get traction in civilian careers.
Today we're zeroing in on Military RPL, recognition of prior learning for Army, Navy, and Air Force. If you've led teams, moved kit across impossible timelines, kept systems humming in high-pressure ops, or owned safety on a messy job site, you've already done more than half the work towards a qualification. The trick is translating it.
And we'll get into the how in a minute, like what evidence you actually need and how long it takes. We'll even share a couple of ways to dodge the classic time wasters in RPL applications. Teaser: there are a couple of documents most veterans forget to include that make assessors very, very happy.
Love a good open loop. Let's start at the top. What is Military RPL? Plain language. It's an assessment process that measures the skills and knowledge you picked up in service against the Australian qualifications framework, so you can get the cert or diploma without sitting through classes you don't need.
It's not a free pass, and it's not a rubber stamp. It's a proper evaluation by qualified assessors. They look at your evidence, a portfolio of your training, jobs you did, missions you ran, outcomes you achieved, and map that against competencies. Sometimes there's an interview, sometimes a practical demonstration, but the whole point is to recognize that learning doesn't just happen in a classroom.
In defense, it almost never does. You learn in the field, you learn in chaos, you learn in that weird 0300 silence before something kicks off. That leadership, that judgment, that's valuable currency in industry.
Okay, picture this. You're an Army section commander who's coordinated stores, transport, and people across 3 detachments. You're basically a project manager. Or Navy, let's say you've maintained complex comms gear across multiple platforms. That's technical systems and compliance in any civvy language. Air Force, aircraft turnaround ops. That's logistics coordination and safety management on a stopwatch.
Employers want those skills: problem solving under pressure, attention to detail, compliance, and operational excellence. And those words, operational excellence, people throw them around. In defense, you've lived it. Lights out, no fuss, standards met.
So why are defense personnel ideal RPL candidates? Because you've already been through rigorous training frameworks. You understand SOPs, audits, readiness, fault finding, documentation. Continuous professional development isn't new to you. It's baked in. You've done the reps.
And you've got evidence. That's the kicker. The military is great at record keeping when you know where to look: training certificates, performance reports, course outcomes, position descriptions, project logs, risk assessments, toolbox talks. The paper trail is there. You just need help pulling it together in the right shape.
Which is where 3CIR comes in. We partner with Asset College RTO 31788 to deliver nationally recognised qualifications, ASQA regulated, AQF aligned, and we specialise in mapping military experience to civilian standards. We do online, we do flexible, and yes, if you're in or near Brisbane, we can make face-to-face happen too.
Let's talk benefits. With RPL, you'll likely reduce study time, save money, and finish faster. Instead of starting from scratch, you're showcasing what you already know. If there are gaps, we target them with specific training rather than dragging you through units you could teach in your sleep.
And the vibe shift when a veteran realises they're not going back to square one, it's massive. I remember a Navy electronic tech who thought he'd need a 2-year slog. RPL cut that to a few months, then a quick bit of gap training. He's now in a WHS role building a team happened quick because we translated his work into language HR understands.
That translation step is the magic. The ADF has its own dialect. When we say, I ran a section, industry hears team leadership, resource planning, and KPI delivery. When you say, I ran a range day, we map it to safety planning, risk controls, incident response, training delivery, and compliance.
So, what can you actually get through Military RPL? Popular pathways include Certificate IV in Leadership and Management, Diploma of Project Management, Certificate IV in Work Health and Safety, Business Admin Quals, HR, and some government sector credentials. There are Certificate IV, Diploma, and Advanced Diploma levels on the table, depending on your depth of experience.
And if you've done multi-stakeholder coordination, budget responsibilities, or delivered outcomes across moving parts, the Diploma of Project Management might suit. If you've been the Safety Hawk, JSA, SWMS, Hazard IDs, then Cert I4 in WHS could be a great fit. If you lived in the world of tasking and team development, leadership and management is your lane.
Army folks tend to stroll into leadership and project quals plus WHS and business admin. Navy folk, leadership, WHS, project, and technical transferables. Air Force, strong in project systems, safety, logistics. And just to be clear, we don't offer maritime-specific tickets, but your Navy experience still converts beautifully to management and business pathways that employers rate.
Let's crack open the process. It starts with a chat, an initial consultation to figure out your goals, your background, and the most suitable qualification pathway. Then, evidence collection and competency mapping. Assessors review what you've got, identify where it lines up with units, and where you might need more detail or a demonstration.
You may do a structured interview. It's not an interrogation. Promise. It's a guided conversation that helps unpack your experience so the assessor can tick the right boxes. And sometimes there's a practical component, but always aligned to AQF standards and the industry competency requirements.
Timeframes? Typically 6 to 16 weeks, depending on qualification complexity and how ready your evidence is. Defense folks usually move faster because the documentation is solid, assuming you can find it. Which brings us to those happy assessor documents we teased earlier.
Here we go. Number 1, detailed position descriptions, not just section commander, but what tasks, what outcomes, what scope. Number 2, performance evaluations that show responsibility growth and outcomes. Those lines about mentoring, readiness, or major activities completed. Gold.
Add in training certs, mission or project summaries, risk assessments you led, maintenance logs, SOPs you authored or enforced, and testimonials from supervisors. Keep it real and specific. Reduced incident rate by X%, delivered capability on schedule, managed team of Y across Z sites. That quant detail turns good evidence into great evidence.
And if you're thinking, Ryan, I didn't save all that, breathe. We help you reconstruct the story. We've done this a long time. We know where to look and how to frame it. That's part of our support: evidence compilation, portfolio development, and getting you assessment ready without drowning you in admin.
Why choose 3CIR? Veteran owned, veteran focused. And we actually understand the context of your service. We know what a tempo surge feels like. We get deployments. We understand risk culture and the weird mix of autonomy and compliance you live with. That's why our assessments feel relevant and fair.
Plus, we don't stop at the piece of paper. We support your career move. Guidance on which qualifications link to which roles, what industries are hiring, how to translate your resume into civilian language, and who to talk to. We've got a network of veteran-friendly employers, and we're happy to make introductions when it fits.
Big one to flag, 3CIR offers a 25% discount on all courses for current and former defense and emergency services personnel. It's our way of recognizing your service and making the jump more affordable.
And emergency services friends, we see you. Police, fireys, ambos, you've got the same operational intensity, safety leadership, and incident management chops that align perfectly with these qualifications. You qualify for the same discount and the same RPL pathways. Welcome aboard.
All right, I want to do a quick myth-busting lightning round. Ready?
Hit me.
Myth. Only technical trades can get RPL. Reality. Leadership, project coordination, logistics, WHS, training, communications. If you've led people, managed risk, or delivered outcomes, you're in the game.
Myth. RPL is just shortcuts. Reality. It's recognition. You either meet the standard or you don't. And if you're close, we'll map a clear, short bit of gap training. No fluff, no filler.
Myth. I'll be stuck in Zoom classes for months. Reality. RPL is assessment first. You'll spend most of your time pulling together evidence and talking about what you already do well. And yes, online options are available Australia-wide, even if you're on odd shifts or posted out bush.
Myth. Civilian hiring managers won't get my defense background. Reality. Hiring managers understand recognized qualifications. That's why this matters. RPL is your translation device. The moment your experience is mapped to a Cert I-4 or diploma, conversations change.
Let's talk outcomes. What doors open? Management positions, project coordination roles, WHS advisor or coordinator, operations supervisor, training roles, consulting. The certificate or diploma gives HR a yardstick. Your service gives you the capability to excel once you're in the seat.
And because we love practical advice, here's how to prep for a smooth RPL run. Start a simple evidence folder today. Drop in course certificates, deployment notes, any rosters or shift plans you authored, photos of whiteboards with your planning notes if you've got them, and a quick one-paragraph summary of 3 complex tasks you led. Aim for what, how, resultant.
Pro tip, write in civilian verbs. Instead of I was IC for the Stormen team, try led a team of 6 to manage inventory across 3 sites, implementing stock control procedures that reduced discrepancies by 18%. Specific, measurable, transferable.
Another tip, when you reach out to us, have a sense of where you want to head. If you're unsure, that's fine, we'll help you map it. But if you know, I want WHS or I want project roles, we can get laser precise on what evidence matters most.
Question we get all the time. Will I need to study after RPL? Maybe. Some people nail full recognition and walk away with the qualification. Others need targeted units. We'll tell you straight and keep it efficient.
And time to complete? Let's anchor it again. 6 to 16 weeks, depending on complexity and evidence. If your documentation is tidy, it swings short. If not, we'll help you tidy it.
Another common one, costs. It varies by qualification and your RPL scope, and we apply that 25% Defence and Emergency Services discount. The best move is to jump on 3CIR.com, hit the RPL assessment form, and get a personalised quote. Transparent. No surprises.
Let's talk Army, Navy, Air Force specifics quickly because people like to know where they land. Army, big wins in leadership and management, project management, WHS, business admin. Navy, leadership, WHS, project, and technical systems that map to business and management quals. Air Force, project and logistics, coordination, safety, technical systems, training delivery. If you've touched maintenance, compliance, or operations, you've got options.
And if you're listening from the emergency services community, police operations, incident command, fireground safety, ambulance triage and coordination, those competencies cross over well. Leadership units, WHS, project, even some government quals depending on your portfolio.
Let's slip in a few real-world micro stories. One of my favourites is a former Army Transport NCO. He thought he'd just be seen as a driver, but when we unpacked it, he'd actually been coordinating routes under changing risk, managing teams, and liaising with stakeholders. RPL to Diploma of Project Management, plus a couple of targeted units. He moved into a civilian logistics coordinator role in 8 weeks.
I worked with an Air Force avionics tech laser focused on safety and systems. He assumed he'd be stuck in hangars forever. We translated his compliance and risk controls into WHS language, filled a minor gap on incident investigation methodology, and he's now a WHS advisor for a construction firm. Day 1, he walked in already fluent in hazard hierarchies and controls because he'd lived it.
And a Navy comms sailor who used to juggle maintenance windows, team rosters, and operational deadlines. That's textbook project coordination. 2 interviews, a strong evidence pack, and some resume translation later. Hello, junior project manager in tech.
If you're hearing this and thinking, maybe, but my record's a mess, you're not alone. Transitions are messy. The system's acronyms are messy. We built 3CIR to unmess it with you. Start with the free RPL assessment on our site, answer a few questions, and we'll map a likely pathway and what evidence to chase first.
And if you're the visual type, we've got quick training videos floating around on leadership, HR, WHS, security management, business admin, marketing and comms, government quals, and project management. Short, sharp, and designed to make this stuff clearer while you're on a commute or at the gym.
One thing I want to be crystal about. Our qualifications are nationally recognised. They align to training.gov.au standards, and our delivery partnership through Asset College, RTO 317 and WAIT keeps everything ASCA regulated. Employers get it. HR teams know what those creds mean.
Also, a shout out to the folks still serving. RPL can happen before you discharge. If you're eyeing transition in 6 or 12 months, starting now is a power move. It shortens that awkward space between and makes employers take you seriously from day one.
Exactly. And for anyone mid-transition, we've got career support, resume advice, interview prep, and introductions where it makes sense. We've walked that road, we know the potholes. The first interview question that used to trip me up was, "Tell me about a time you influenced without authority." I had 1,000 of those stories from the army. I just needed to tell them in language that clicked.
Mine was, what's your biggest failure and what did you learn? I gave them an honest story about a plan that went sideways on exercise because I'd underestimated a dependency. Then I explained how we built in better checks and comms channels. The interviewer loved it because it sounded like real life, not a textbook.
That's what this all comes back to. Authentic experience, properly translated. You've got the substance. We help you package it.
All right, let's run a few FAQs as if we're in your passenger seat on the way to work.
What military experience qualifies for RPL? Almost any ADF service, Army, Navy, Air Force, can qualify. Leadership roles, technical specializations, project and operations, training delivery, deployments, safety management. If you've done, led, or taught, it likely maps.
How long does it take? Usually 6 to 16 weeks. Faster when your evidence is neat will help you keep it neat.
Will I need extra study? Sometimes, if there's a small gap, say a unit on stakeholder engagement or incident investigation, you complete that targeted training. No marathon lectures for things you've already mastered.
What evidence do I need? Service records, course certs, PDs, performance evals, project docs, risk registers you worked on, SOPs you wrote or enforced, and supervisor testimonials. If you trained others, bring evidence of that too. Session plans, attendance sheets, outcomes.
Are online assessments available? 100%. We're set up for flexible online RPL, perfect for deployments, shift work, or remote locations. And we keep the human element in it. You won't be left guessing.
Cost with the veteran discount depends on the qualification and scope of RPL. The 25% discount for defence and emergency services helps a lot. Best path is submit an RPL assessment inquiry and we'll quote you straight.
Emergency services included? Yes. Police, fire, ambulance, you have parallel competencies. You qualify for the same discount and similar RPL pathways.
What can I do after I finish? Think leadership roles, project coordination, WHS, operations, training, or even consulting. You'll have the formal recognition plus the real-world backbone to back it up.
How do we support veterans during the process? Career guidance, evidence wrangling, flexible scheduling, and ongoing check-ins. And because we're veteran-owned, we understand the head noise of transition. You won't be doing this alone.
We should also address one more thing. Integrity of the process. People worry RPL is either too strict or too loose. Our approach is fair, evidence-based, and in line with AQF. That balance matters to us because your qualification should mean something when you present it to an employer or a regulator.
Speaking of meaning, if you're ready to get moving, the fastest on-ramp is to start your military RPL assessment through 3CIR. Quick form, quick callback, and we'll map your pathway. If you're still exploring, jump into our resources, watch a couple of those short videos, and skim the course pages to see what resonates.
And remember the 25% discount, don't leave that on the table. If you're defense or emergency services, it's there for you because you earned it. It's not a handout, it's recognition.
Final thought from me. Your military service is not just a chapter in your life, it's a professional foundation. RPL is how you build the next level without pretending the first level didn't happen.
And my final thought, don't wait for perfect. If you're thinking, I'll do this when my documents are immaculate, you might stall for months. Reach out. We'll help you get from 60% to 100% faster than you think.
Coming up next episode, we're taking you behind the curtain with Asset Training Australia RTO 31778, the team that powers a lot of the nationally recognised outcomes our students receive. We'll unpack how an RTO keeps quality tight, what employers are asking for right now, and how that shapes the quals we recommend.
Plus, we'll ask them the blunt questions. What makes an application fly? What makes it stall? And how you can make assessors' lives easier so your cert lands quicker. Expect some tactical tips you can use the same day.
If you want to hit the ground running before that drops, head to 3cir.com, tap the RPL assessment form, and let's get your experience recognised.
All right, legends, go well. Keep learning, keep moving, and remember, you're not starting over, you're starting smarter. Catch you next time.